Welcome to Red Hot Mindset. I'm your host, Gabe Cox, and through this podcast, I'm on a mission to help you step into the fire of refinement so God can mold and transform you into a woman ready to step into your calling and crush your goals, His way. I do this by helping you overcome your mental barriers through a faith-based approach of building inner strength and resilience. Each episode, I will bring you thought process, productivity tips, and inspirational stories from everyday people, all so you can live intentionally and move forward confidently with the gifts God has given you. As a running enthusiast, I believe that life is one massive marathon, and it's up to you to run your own race and to finish it well. Step into the fire with me because I know you will come out stronger. Hey, welcome back to Red Hot Mindset. Guess what? Spring is here. Can you smell it? Oh, I love the smell of spring. I don't know what it is about it, but I could go without how wet it is, but that's a whole nother story. But spring is a new season, and with it brings spring cleaning. After a long winter, it's so nice to freshen up the house, wash the windows and screens, clean the light fixtures, and dust all the nooks and crannies that we've neglected way too long. I don't know about you, but I hate dusting. And I can tell when I dust because I don't do it very often. But I want to challenge you to add a different kind of spring cleaning to your routine this year. It's something we don't talk about much, but it's just as important. It's a spring cleaning of your mind. Did you know that when you declutter your house, you are automatically decluttering your mind as well? Clutter and messes actually take quite a bit of brain space. And once you get a hold of the physical mess, it's easier to take back control of the mess in your mind. And what I love about spring is that the winter is gone. I love snow, but I hate the cold. Really hate the cold. It's probably why we moved from from Minnesota to Colorado. I know it's still a little chilly in Colorado, but it's way better than the bitter cold in Minnesota. But you know what? In the spring, a new life sprouts again. The greenery comes back, the flowers bloom, the birds chirp. It's like new beginnings. And that's how I think of spring cleaning. It's about new beginnings in our homes, and it's about new beginnings in our minds. Decluttering our minds starts in the physical. I don't want you to just think of spring cleaning and organizing. If you have to have 100 plastic containers to organize your stuff, it probably means that you have too much stuff to begin with. And yes, I might be talking to you, Mama. How many plastic containers do you have that you're organizing things in? Are you really using everything that you have, or is it just taking up space? I want you to think about decluttering, getting rid of the old and beginning with something new. And this helps us declutter our mind. Today, I want to share with you just what less stuff means for you in your life. And then near the end of the episode, I'll also share with you 3 simple, tangible tips that you can implement immediately to start decluttering your own house and ultimately declutter your mind of clutter and distraction, because that's really what happens when our house is a mess and we have too much stuff. Our minds get cluttered and we get distracted from what we're really being called to do. So, I was on a journey of decluttering our house 6 months before we even knew that we were moving to Colorado. I just felt so bogged down with stuff, and I wanted to see if we could live on less. So I just began to go through things. When we moved into the last house, we had a huge empty space in our basement by the laundry, and my hubby and my dad built a ton of shelving down there for me, and I loved it. It was 2 walls full of, from floor to ceiling, shelves. It was a brilliant storage area. But what was I storing? Old memories, old toys, things we weren't using anymore. Now, I also stored like camping stuff, hand-me-down clothes for the boys, paper products, useful things like that. But most of the stuff I stored down there were things we were probably never actually going to use again. Or they were things that they were kind of junk bins and I just didn't want to go through them. So that's where I started. I started in my storage room. And you know what I did? I actually looked at every single item and I asked myself, will I ever need this again? Is this a memory I want to hang on to? Now, if I said yes to either of these questions, I did keep it. But if I said no, or even if I really hesitated with my answer and I couldn't say yes right away, then I knew it was time to get rid of it. Was it hard getting rid of some of the memories? Yes. Was it hard getting rid of some of my old books? Yes. If you don't know me, I collect old books, especially old Bibles. And all I want is a room full of old books with a ladder and a little reading nook. But I realized they've just been in bins and I haven't been able to display them and enjoy them. And I wasn't moving to a bigger space. At that point, I wasn't even moving, but I didn't have a bigger space to put the books anywhere. So I made the decision to get rid of some of them. Did I keep the special ones? Uh huh. Did I keep a lot of them? Yep. But I did get rid of some. You know, stuff can really bog us down. It can create a more chaotic atmosphere in our home. Cleaning is harder with this if you have more things to move or more things to maneuver around. And guess what? Stress builds with stuff. Today, I want to talk about what less stuff could mean to you so we can get the bigger picture of what is truly going on when we continue to accumulate more and more things. Do you know what less stuff means? Less stuff means less organization needing to be done. Less stuff means easier to find things. Less stuff means more time to play and relax. Less stuff means less time it takes to clean. Less stuff means a peaceful home and a calmer atmosphere. Less stuff means more gratitude for the things you have. Less stuff means more time to create memories. Less stuff, really essentially toys, less toys, means kids need to use more creativity. When I started on this journey, it was hard to hold myself accountable to do all the things. I didn't really know where to start or what to do or how to choose what should stay or what should go. I just knew that we had accumulated way too much stuff and it was time to overhaul our house. While in the midst of cleaning and organizing or trying to declutter, really, I came across Ali Kazaza's Declutter Like a Mother program and I took the plunge and purchased it. What it did for me was it helped me to see what I could do in each room to simplify, and it held me accountable to keep working on it. Whenever I invest in something, I take it more seriously and I'm more likely to finish. Within the course, there's a checklist to keep you on track, and she gives some home tours to show just how simple you can go if you choose. And you also get linked into a private community of other women who are working at the same thing, which creates a great environment and good peer pressure to get the things done. I highly recommend this program if you are feeling stuck and don't know where to start or how to create a peaceful space in your home. You will be happy with your investment and newly decluttered home. Are you always cleaning up but your house is never clean? Do you throw things in closets and hidden spaces whenever someone announces they're dropping by? Do you feel like you're always playing catch up when you take a day off to do something fun? Does it feel like you're cleaning up after your life rather than just living it? Do you want less stress and more family time? If you answered yes to any of these questions, this program is for you. Declutter Like a Mother is an awesome, awesome course. If you want to learn more, head to bit.ly/uncluttered-home. So bit.ly, bit.ly/uncluttered-home. And I will also leave a link in the show notes for you. You can get $50 off the course with my link. Happy decluttering! Less stuff means less organization needing to be done. Do you find yourself needing to organize all of the time and trying to create systems that will work for you and your family? Are you a dollar store bin purchaser, or do you like going to Hobby Lobby to buy all the containers, or IKEA? IKEA with all the shelving and all the bins, and yes, it's pretty, but it's a lot of stuff. Can I tell you a secret? That might mean you simply have too much stuff. I love watching videos of how others organize their things, But one thing I notice as I'm watching is that they aren't really getting rid of anything. All they are doing is moving things around and finding places for each thing in creative ways. You only need organization if you have too many things to deal with at all. So now we need ways to organize our papers, or we need ways to organize our schoolwork or things like that. Yeah, we are going to need to organize. But if you need to figure out how to organize all the extra junk you own that you probably don't even use anymore, then maybe you just physically have too much stuff. Less stuff means it's easier to find things. Are you like me? I don't even have that much stuff and I still have a hard time finding my car keys, but or my sunglasses or whatever. But are you scrambling to find things like that on your kitchen counter, or maybe this month's bills in a pile of paperwork? Or maybe you forgot where you put your favorite hat, or your kids are complaining because they can't find their favorite toy or their favorite blankie or stuffed animal. One of the reasons it's hard to find things is simply that you have too much stuff and it gets moved around from here to there to everywhere and doesn't have an actual home. Less stuff means more time to play and relax. And I love to do me some relaxing. Of course, I'm not that good at it, but I do like to do it. Do you feel like you're bogged down with organizing and cleaning and all the things and you don't have the time to just sit and be for a moment? And when I say sit, I don't mean scrolling your phone on social media. I mean sitting, relaxing, in the quiet, taking a walk, playing with the kids, doing those kinds of things. Do you watch your kids play and wish you could just take the time to be out with them for a little while soaking in the sunshine and having some kiddo laughter? Well, that's what less stuff means. Less stuff means less cleaning and organizing. If you don't have too many things, you no longer have to organize. Everything has a home and it's easy to pick up in minimal time so you can create more memories and be present with your family. You can go out and have fun and relax and enjoy that family time. Less stuff means less time it takes to clean. Are you tired of cleaning and 5 minutes later finding another mess that you have to take care of? If you have littles, less stuff may not always mean no messes. Now, I'm going to have to preface that because if you're in a season of little kids, they're messy no matter what. You could take away all their toys and they're gonna figure out how to make a mess, okay? But they will also be easier to clean up. My youngest never really played with his toys. He had quite a few of them, but he never really played with them. All he did was he would dump one container out, like a container of Legos, and then he'd move on to the next. He'd dump that one out, like cars, and then he'd move on to the next. And it drove me crazy. I'm just telling you, it drove me crazy. I just couldn't understand him. I was like, why aren't you going to play with that? Why can't you play with it and then put it away and then play with something else? He was always making messes with his toys that he didn't even play with. I found out that he didn't even need as many toys as he had. He created with sticks and cardboard boxes more than anything else. The other things just left trails of frustration for me. And I'm sure some of you feel me on that one. Probably most of you. You might have a kid like that. And can I be honest with you? He's still like that. And he's almost 7 years old. He leaves paper trails everywhere and he still dumps his cars or Legos out and just moves on to something else. It's actually a never ending battle. But when we know what toys they really love and then we get rid of the rest, I like to keep the learning toys like the Lincoln Logs and the blocks and things like that because I feel like they also use your imagination. But when we get rid of the other things, there's less for them to dump out and less to clean up. Less stuff means a peaceful home and calmer atmosphere. Is there a lot of stress in your house because there's always too much to take care of? Piles of laundry, piles of shoes, piles of toys, running from here to there. So when we're home, you have to take care of the home. Did you know that as mothers, we control the atmosphere in our home? This has a lot to do with our mind. Our mood or our responses will set the atmosphere for the day. Our families will play into whatever atmosphere we bring. If we are stressed, our kids will feel that anxiety and the atmosphere will not be pleasant. If we are negative, our kids or spouses will feed off that negativity as well. As women, we hold much power in our household, probably more than we know. What atmosphere do you want your home to be? One way to ensure a more peaceful home is to eliminate unnecessary clutter. I find that when my kitchen and living room are picked up, normally I really love the minimal in these rooms. Like I don't have a lot of stuff in them normally. Then I'm very much at peace and the atmosphere of my home is calmer. I'm not sure why that is, but it's true. If my kitchen and living room are picked up, my mind is at rest. My mind isn't wandering and distracted to all the things I need to pick up or clean or do. I can just enjoy the present and create memories with my family. The boys clean their own rooms, and I'm not as picky about the loft or those other spaces because I don't see them all the time. We do take some time to pick up here and there in those places, and I do make sure their rooms are kind of clean, but I'm not a stickler to ensure all spaces are 100% clean all the time. That would drive anyone nuts. For me, it's my kitchen and living room that I prefer to maintain every day. Maybe you need to decide for yourself what rooms you need to keep minimal and you need to keep picked up to have that same atmosphere in your home. Can you think of, do you have kind of a room rolling around in your mind right now that we're talking? So, less stuff means more gratitude for the things you have. Are you finding yourself wanting the best gadget? Or your kids wanting to buy the next best toy or gaming system? You want a new car? You want a new toy for yourself? Do you see yourself wanting things? Contentment is a big factor, and contentment is a mindset. Paul learned how to be content with much and how to be content with little. In Philippians 4:11 through 13 in the NIV, he says, I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Less stuff means we take pleasure in what we do have and find gratitudes all around us. It helps us rewire our minds to enjoy the simple things in life. Less stuff means more time to create memories. Do you wish you could just get up and go for the day? Take the kids on an adventure, explore the city or the outdoors, go on that run, go do your workout without having stress about what you have to do in the day. Less stuff means less organizing. We've talked about that already. But that means less cleaning, which means more time spent doing what you love. Less stuff, toys specifically, means kids need to use more creativity. We also kind of talked about this one with my little boy. But do you wish your kids would just learn the art of imagination and go off and play, pretending they're knights defending the king's castle or princesses having a tea party? Or whatever your imagination can hold. But, kids learn the art of creativity by having the time to devote to it. Less stuff means they have to be creative as they use their imaginations to play. Less stuff means they're using their minds to think of different things to do. This is a skill that we are losing in this generation. They don't have to use their imaginations. Toys and machines do their thinking for them. When they have to learn the art of creativity, they are also learning the art of thinking. And this is one skill I know I want to instill in my boys before they leave home. I love what author Joshua Becker says about becoming a minimalist. He says the first step in crafting the life you want is getting rid of everything you don't. Isn't that so true? Get rid of everything you don't want or use or need. Declutter your physical space and the mental decluttering will follow. You'll find so much peace and space to make memories and create that life that you've always wanted. So before we go, I want to give you 3 tangible tips to get you started on your decluttering journey. The first one is to choose to do 20 to 30 minutes a day and focus on one room at a time. These are small, incremental steps that actually helped me to declutter. I'm huge on keeping things simple, especially when it means adding more to my schedule. You don't have to take a week off to do all the decluttering and cleaning in that time frame. You just simply need to start. Do a little at a time, and with consistency, you will get it done. I know you can carve out 20 minutes a day. We all have the time. It's a matter of what we're filling our time with. Make your decluttering time fun. Put on some upbeat, pump up music or listen to a podcast while you work. Put on Red Hot Mindset while you work. Here we go. Not only will it make the task more enjoyable, come hang out with me, I'll help you declutter, but it will also make the time go by faster. You may even get lost in your music or in the podcast episode and end up doing more than 20 to 30 minutes some days. The second tip I have for you is to use a timer and see how much you can get done in that amount of time. And then just be done when it goes off. It's about being intentional. So a timer will hold you accountable to at least commit 20 minutes to the task, but it will also help you keep on track if all you have is 20 minutes. It reminds me of the pickup game I used with my boys when they were younger. I'd say, I'm going to time us and let's see how fast we can get these toys picked up. Have you ever done that? I don't know if there's a specific call, but you put on the music, you call it the pickup game. But it made the task of cleaning up like a game, and the boys really wanted to see if they could beat their previous times. This is a good tip on how to get your kids to enjoy cleaning up too. So the third thing I have for you is to have a basket for things you're just not sure what to do with if you have no specific place for them yet. Each item should have its own specific home. If it doesn't have a place, then either you don't need it or you need to find a good place for it. It's easier to clean up or have your kids help clean up when you know exactly where things belong, because you can let them know this goes over here, or they get used to knowing exactly where things go. Oh, and by the way, I still have a junk drawer. I have a junk drawer. Right now it's a junk shoebox with all our random little things that we don't know what to do with. But I'm not quite sure it's possible to get away with not having a junk drawer. But the junk drawer I still go through every once in a while in case there's anything we really don't need. But it's just those random things, paper clips or safety pins or tape and stuff like that. So those are my 3 tips for you. These 3 tips are simple and tangible, and you can implement them right away into your daily routine. The first one was to choose to do 20 to 30 minutes a day and focus on one room at a time. The second one was to use a timer to see how much you can get done in that amount of time. Be done when that timer goes off. And number 3 was to have a basket for things you're not sure what to do with if you have no specific place for them yet. When I started my decluttering and simplifying journey, I had no idea we would be moving shortly after. However, when we felt called to move, it made that process so much easier because I had already done much of the hard work of getting rid of anything that we really didn't need that I didn't have a place for in our house. We moved with less stuff, which meant we could fit most of it into one large moving truck and our minivan, and we didn't have to figure out how to get everything from Minnesota to Colorado. It wasn't a really small trip. It was kind of a big trip. But the stress I saved us made taking 20 minutes a day to declutter so worth it. What a relief on my mind. I could take that brain space and use it on more important things. Decluttering our physical space has a major impact on our minds. I challenge you to take 20 minutes a day to go through your own house and see what you can get rid of. Just think you can donate these things and bless another family with them. What a win. If you're not using them, get rid of them. If you need help getting started, I do highly recommend Ali Kazaza's Declutter Like a Mother course. I used that initially to get myself going, and it really helped me with the thought process of decluttering. I'll leave a link to it in the show notes for you so you can easily find it if you're interested, and you will get $50 off the program with my link. On Thursday, I have my good friend Marta back with us to share her Thursday tidbits on creating a simplified house management system you can stick to. As a busy mama, I needed this in my life. I know you do not want to miss it. So let's see you there. Until next time, in all things I pray, you just run your race. I believe in you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. Before we go, though, make sure you subscribe to the podcast on your favorite listening platform if you haven't already. This will make sure you have access to all future episodes so you don't miss any of them. If you resonated with this episode, please consider leaving a review on iTunes or Spotify, as reviews are an important part of growing this podcast. If you have any friends or family who you think would enjoy this podcast, be sure to take a screenshot and share it with them. And if you're not a part of the free Mindful Mamas online community, consider joining us. It's a community built to provide support, mindset, and encouragement as you develop your giftings, live intentionally, and go after your biggest goals, God's way. Head on over to www.redhotmindset.com to check out the show notes and find the link to join the community. I hope you step into the fire with me each and every episode because I know you will come out stronger. That's all for now. Talk with you real soon. Bye, winner.